Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Your host, the Sentient Sword, here, making a special video. Um, it's prototyping my current build that's in the works in the Sentinel League and Path of Exile. Let's see. First things first. I'm certainly not the first player in the world to use a cast-on crit build with arc. That being said, this is the culmination of my own experiences and ideas, things I liked in gameplay, things I didn't like, uh, stuff and mechanics I found interesting, unique, and useful that I just wanted to build on. So this isn't my build and it's unique, but obviously the building blocks is based on are not. So anyway, though, I like tanky style builds. I rather you can't do amazing offense if you're dead. You have to be alive in order to unleash really cool moves and stuff. So I do like to have some defense. Although with this build, I wanted to get away from my old habits of just going so far into defense and not having too much offense. So, but anyway, to cover defense, well, no, because I like defense so much, I was interested in the block mechanic, and I thought, how could I use block offensively? Because there's reflection builds and there's all types of shield builds or whatever. But I came upon these rings, which have to do with consecrated ground. Uh, they give you 50% increased damage if you're standing on consecrated ground. Doesn't matter the source. Even now, you can roll consecrated ground as a map roll on maps. So even if it's from the map and it's supposed to be a detriment, they'll still give you a boost. Which to me, I was thinking, how could consecrated ground be a detriment? It probably goes against like chaos builds or something like that. Everything in the game counters something, some style or form of build. So anyway, block also it increases block chance by standing on. I get 5% chance to increase block damage while stand on consecrated ground. So you get if you land a crit, you get the consecrated ground and all the benefits, the extra damage. Also, these having two rings actually works. You get 50% plus 50% equals 100%. So I get 100% increased damage on consecrated ground, plus 10% chance to block attack damage on consecrated ground. That goes into this unique weapon, which I think is really cool, which increases my chance to block attack damage by even more. Which, let's say I'm standing on consecrated ground, plus I'm having this, I get 45% chance to block attack damage, right off the bat without any, bonuses from the tree and stuff like that. So what happens with this is it also increases my critical strike chance for spells. I get extra elemental damage as chaos damage, which I didn't take too much advantage of that the first time I used this staff. I was more interested in the block chance mechanic, and I didn't pay attention to the elemental chaos mechanic. But anyway, the interesting thing is your critical strike multiplier increases by your chance to block attack damage. So now not only am I increasing my chance to block damage from even bosses, anything. A blocked attack is a blocked attack. You take no damage unless you use your unique passive to alter it. But by default, you take no damage from any blocked attack, and anything that applies a status effect on hit, like ignite or shock or freeze, it's blocked. If you block it, you block it. Except for stun. If the hit would have stunned you, you still don't take any damage, but you have to play a block animation, which basically still counts as a stun animation. Now, any animation that stops your movement that has to play out, to me, in my eyes, counts as the same. So, being stunned still counts in a weird. It technically still be stunned even if you block something. So, but anyway, instead of just being safety with defense, increasing my chance to block, attack damage. Now I'm getting power because of it. Each, 1 to 1 chant, percent, um, is great for your multiplier. And if you haven't dealt a crit, like the times, like if your build doesn't have 100% crit chance to crit, the times that your strikes don't crit, you have you get the 60% increase multiplier if you haven't dealt it recently. Which, though, with my build, that doesn't really come out much because I plan on doing as much crits as possible. Um, and if you do crit, your spell damage increases, and so that goes. So add my block damage, and this builds my spell. And I've chosen for this league the spell Arc to go with Cyclone on cast on crit. And so the spell damage increase, I get the chaos damage bonus from all that. And when I land on consecrated ground, or land on it, or I create it, or whatnot, I get the damage bonus from that. I also use retaliation charm. This particular character doesn't have the god tree to prevent being blinded, but on my character from the last league, the Arch Nemesis League, he has this. He has these completely filled out, so he is immune to being blind, and he cannot be maimed, and get the shock effect reduced or whatever. So what happens with retaliation charm is that you get another bonus if first is defensive, because blinding enemies cuts down their chance, to hit you, and then with a high block chance, if they do get a chance to hit because of past the blindness, you have a high chance to block it. So there's more defense, but at the same time I'm getting offense because any enemy that I've blinded has to take more damage from me. Well, I get higher crit chance against them goes up. So that you want my build to go high and get as much crit strikes as possible. So blinding them increases my crits against them, and being blinded doesn't make my lights go out, and the blind I inflict is reflected to you. So now, even though the retaliation charm prevents my light radius from the lights from going out when I'm blinded, that still doesn't prevent the effect of missing strikes, which greatly affects cyclone and cast on crit. So you need to be immune to blind. This is another reason why this is just a prototype and not the actual guy, because as I stated earlier in the beginning of the video, just I had to learn from my last character who was immune to blind, before I started, tinkering with what I want to do with this new league. So anyway, it's still blind, even though it doesn't put out your lights. It still affects your accuracy, which is a no-no. So you want to be immune to blind. Period. Like cannot be blinded. That way, not only do your lights not get put out, you don't also lose accuracy when the from the retaliation charm. So you get the damage without the debuffs. You get damage from block. Um, what else? The death door prevents you from bleeding. This, the brass stone prevents you from taking damage from critical strikes. It doesn't affect what ailment I guess they would put on you for landing the crit. It's just you just don't take the astronomical damage from them landing the crit. So, but these two abilities also tie into my skill tree, which I've been granted a full passive reset, which is cool. Now I can probably, I'll probably switch the ascendancy, because this is the wrong ascendancy. My last character was a guardian, but I'm using Inquisitor for my the current league. So anyway, that's another reason why this is prototype. So basically, you cannot be with the elemental reses and protections, with corrupted blood cannot be inflicted on me, so I can't. So bleeding and corrupted blood can't be put on me, which are separate things. They used to be just one thing, and death's door boots would actually prevent both. but they have split them into two separate things. So this makes me immune to both things. Plus, these gives blocks shock, blocks chill, and being shocked and chilled, and night duration. This prevents me from being frozen. These top two don't really, on the god tree, don't really come in handy. They come in handy in the beginning of the game because you can be stunned and stuff like that. But in the build, I always it has unwavering stance, so I cannot be stunned anymore, and so that eliminates the need for the block recovery and the and you don't want to get stunned. Period. There's ascendancies and stuff that like lets you say, well, you'll get this bonus if you block something or get stunned or whatever. But I mean, most of the time though in the game, if you get stunned or frozen, there's a high chance you're gonna die. So it's better just to be immune to stun. Period. So anyway, um, let's put it into action. Keep it in mind. This isn't the right ascendancy. Um, and the skill tree isn't 100% what I envision it to be, because now that I've been playing on my new build, actually building the character, I made different changes. I'm seeing different things. So, prototype is prototype. So we have like here a decent map, nothing too fancy, but nothing too, tame. Let's see, what auras am I using? The build uses 6 auras, which currently I'm also taking advantage of damage, 8% increased damage per aura on me, so 48% increased damage, if my math is correct. Vitality for life regen, mana, accuracy for and crit strike for cyclone, war banner, more accuracy, crit strike, herald thunders, damage, lightning damage. Conductivity curses enemies for lightning damage, applies to arc. So basically, and now I'm using, on the prototype, I'm using Stone Golem for more life regen, but currently I'm using Ice Golem for more crit strike chance. But anyway, let's put the prototype into action and show how it goes. I especially wanted to make this video for a good friend. When I was conversing with them about it, they said that it sounds like a lot of fun. It is. And I forgot what map this is. Dark Forest? I don't know. Oh, no, Grave Troll. I don't even know if I've been in this map before. I mean, I probably have, but... yeah, and they got eaten up pretty quick. And currently, with this ascendancy, I'm using Guardian. I get 20% chance to gain a power frenzy or endurance charge on hit. 80% immune to curses. Plus with the skill tree, I got another 30% curse immunity, so that's 110% reduced curse effect. So curses don't affect me. Even though that's why you see I'm just still doing good damage on, even though I'm mostly cursed than people. This build is really, really tanky. Oh wow, that's so cool. The Herald puts those crosses on. I like the fact that art changed. That one. It's like you don't have to like cut, like get every single enemy. Wow, that was really powerful. We got crushed. I don't know if I'll do the boss because I've died twice trying to gain experience. Like I would have been maybe 70%, maybe 80% towards level 97 with this character, but I was getting some stuff done on the mapping, on the Atlas. I really like to do the Atlas skill tree, the Atlas passive skill tree. I think that's a really good idea. They made the map like dynamic and fun in a good way without the tediousness of the previous adding all those stupid gems. I really hated that you needed to keep powering up sections with gems and hoping the guy would show up in that section. And if he didn't, you're moving the gems blindly around. Like you didn't even know. Besides getting the guardians or whatever to show up, you didn't have any purpose as to why to put them there and where. I mean, besides they did raise map tiers, but I mean, I guess that's it. Just jam as many as you have in a place to raise the map tiers to an area you want. But that's it. I can't jump up there. I was saying, they're screaming at me. They should be. Then that must mean they're able to hit me. I was thinking if they can get me, I should be able to get them. I was wondering why I couldn't leap slam up there. I forgot even. I like when Herald Thunder procs. That looks really good with the I don't know if it's the Herald of Purity or the Divine Herald. When it's coming down from the sky, it looks like the old school alien like laser with the rings being left over. It seems more like yellow alien beam than Infinity, except for when you see the aftermath and you see that cross. Or well, it's not a cross, it's that weird boom, 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 taking too many hits. One thing though, it's tanky, but I hadn't rolled the gear on the prototype for a lot of to deal with the the hit point loss from the brass dome, because you lose the boost to life that you would normally get from all your strength passives and stuff on your gear. So that's a debuff in exchange for not taking damage from the crit strike. So on my last build, I rolled rares to deal with that problem, where I still had, I think at least close to 3 grand. Here I'm not even at 2,900 on life, so life is a little bit low, but once again, prototype. In my current build, in the skill tree, I put more life so far in. Is a rogue exile nearby? No, I think this thing just causes frost wall or something like that. I just run from me casting frost wall. It's stupid. I never really understood the mechanics of frost wall. It's like just not killing the enemy, just blocking it, especially in this game, doesn't seem to me to be very effective strategy. And then plus, it's not like every time you cast it, unless you have this gear or whatever that makes it so it casts itself in a nova or a rain, it only casts one side. Like you don't even get 3 walls. Like I can see, like casting 4 would give you a square and protect you all around. I can see them saying, well, that's too powerful. But you don't even get 3, so you can protect yourself in the front and on both sides. Like that's a barrier. Just putting a single wall in front of you, they could just run around real quick. I mean, that's just doesn't seem very effective to me. And it's not like the wall explodes or something if monsters touch it or something like that. They can run around it, touch it. It doesn't really do anything. So I thought that was pretty. Yeah, I don't really get Frostwall, to be honest. I bet you people who use it in their build know it's like super awesome. They're like, man, you need to use it for defense, and it does this, it does that. You don't know what the hell it talks about, man. And then so be it. That's one of the things I like about Path of Exile is that it's designed that every skill is cool and useful. You may not know how, you may not think it's cool, you may not think it's useful, but that doesn't take away its inherent ability or whatever. So I think that's pretty cool. Let's see. What's the DPS? Currently says 16 grand for Cyclone, and this one pumps out 6,500 every time I land a crit, and I have enough mana to cast it. That's another thing with the prototype. The mana regen, it takes so much mana to do cast on crit. It's unreal because every time you land that crit, you have to cast the mana, pay the mana cost of the spell, and as you six link stuff and add support gems, the mana cost skyrockets. So you need to be getting mana like there's no tomorrow. I don't know which way to go, and I think this way has some treasure chest. Okay, I wanted to make sure there wasn't any like the heavy hitters mixed in the group because man, the Path of Exile, the difficulty is up there, man. Which I like because it's just enough to keep you on your toes while playing it. Sometimes it can feel a little bit unfair, especially when your gear is short or you're trying a new build and there's some kinks in it that you need to work out. It's like then it becomes like, oh, this sucks, because high difficulty means there's not a lot of room for trying a new. It's not that you can't try a new build. I'm not saying that they're trying to ban you from trying a new build. I'm just saying that new builds, especially if you're thinking of something from scratch, which is how I tend to do most of my builds. You run into those walls that you didn't see because it's flat out just just making slapping stuff together and going along with it. The difficulty will punish you for that. Like if you don't have enough damage or you don't have enough defense or something.
Be careful.
You're not gonna be able to get far, and that was kind of the case with my build in the last league. Was that it was a really fun build. I really enjoyed it, and it was really sturdy. I mean, this brass dome, not being hit with crit damage is really beneficial. So anyway, plus the life reaching, all the stuff that works. Helmet, I'm really just wearing that because my last build used minions instead of arc. So this helped with summon holy relic and all that type of jazz. But yeah, the thing is, it was good tanky, but it wasn't very good offensively. Like having the biggest problem was that not knowing what gems to use makes you, when you get to the end game, instead of like getting able to like throw yourself into end game content and really get into good stuff or whatever, you're forced to re-level up new gems that you just realize, hey, this works better than the ones you were using. So now you're flipping gems and all this stuff, and your skill tree, you've made mistakes because you didn't know that things would turn out how they would turn out until you got to that point. So there's that, and you just don't have the time to get ahead, especially if you get killed or something. This game puts a 10% experience penalty for death, and it's like and it takes so much EXP to get to the next level once you pass level 90. That losing 10% of that is a very steep penalty. It's a fitting penalty. I don't think it's too crushing, but it's steep enough to where you don't want to mess around. And if your build has flaws or issues, like not enough mana regen, all that kind of stuff. I think those were gonna explode or something like that. I really hate mobs that think that body explodes. Okay, so less than 50 mobs remaining. They got pretty cleaned up this place pretty good. Like the prototype. This prototype is really really good on at least killing the mobs at least, because dark chains is very powerful even if you don't have your gems and stuff set up correctly. So yeah, that's all empty space. So I'm thinking that the last mob, there's only 12 of them left, are inside the boss chamber. So what I'm gonna do, just for the sake of kicks, is go inside and immediately like portal out, so we can see the boss but not get our butts kicked by it. Let's have a thing up. Or will it come out? Oh no, okay. The thing opened. Okay, seems like some kind of chaos damage guy. See ya. Alright, so there's some guy that I don't want to deal with at the moment. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, and my good friend, I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more Path of Exile action, as the current build that I have designed or I'm working on, that this video alludes to, gets to fruition, and I can show you like the finished results. Anyway, I hope this finds you in good spirits. Be well, and thank you for watching.